Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We're so happy to see you. If you are watching on the live stream for a more intimate opportunity, join us, please, in the Zoom room. And you can get that easily by going to www.aliyahlive.org and just click on the link. We're going to join together page 13.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's a delight to see you here. We know that it's been a challenging week with the rise of Omicron, but just as much as that wave is cresting, the Shabbat spirit is rising here just as much, if not stronger. It is that beautiful spirit of Shabbat that keeps us going week in and week out. We know that in weeks to come, Omicron and God willing, the pandemic will be gone, but the Shabbat spirit will remain with us every 7 days. So join with us tonight as we come together here in the vast realm of cyberspace, on live stream, on YouTube, and bring our hearts connected together and try to share in that Shabbat spirit. We continue with the singing of Lecha Dodi, which, if you're following along in your Siddur, is on pages 23 and 25. As always, we'll do the first paragraph, and then we'll stand to welcome in the Shabbat bride with the second paragraph on page 25.
Ya la 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 lecha dodi, oh ya la 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 lekrat kala, ya la 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 penei Shabbat dekabela, ya la 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 lecha dodi, oh ya la 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 lekrat kala. Ya la 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 la, penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'digur echad, Ishmiyanu El HaMiuchad, Adonai Echad, U'Shemo Echad, L'Shemo Tiferet, V'Litira, let's hear you. Yai, lai, lai, ya la 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 la, lecha dodi. Oh, ya la 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 la, lekrat kala. Yalla la la la, Pene Shabbat, Pene Shabbat, Nekavela.
We continue then with the Shabbat spirit effectively welcomed in. Now we get to open our worship. We turn to page 39a with Am I Awake and the Baruch together.
Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMivorach. Baruch Adonai HaMivorach Le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed. Yalla la la la, 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 yalla la la.
We continue on page 40 with Ahavat Olam as we welcome in the love of Torah to join us alongside the spirit of Shabbat.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ahavta Amcha Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta, otanu limadeta. Alkein Adonai Eloheinu v'shokvenu u'kumenu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki heim chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem nehege yomam v'layla nehege yomam v'layla v'yahavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael ohev
At the core of our service every week is the Shema. Please join us as we recite the watchword of our faith and the instructions on how to place the words in every aspect of our life so that they surround us and beautify us at all times. The Shema can be found, and the Vehafta as well, on page 41.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha Vishinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvelechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot ayadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uchtavtam Al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha. We continue silently, page 42. Leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem lelohim Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet.
As many of you know, tonight is not only the Shabbat right before Tu B'Shvat, it is not only the Shabbat right before Martin Luther King Day, it is also Shabbat Shirah. It is the Shabbat where we sing the same words that the Israelites sang when they came across the sea. Now, we actually sing a part of those words every week, every day, in fact, when we sing Mi Chamocha. But they take on special meaning on this week, and particularly when the weeks coincide with Martin Luther King Day. For this is the song that the Israelites sang when they first tasted freedom and came out of slavery for the first time in 400 years. So too, we Jews have been sensitized forever to understand that we were once oppressed, and it becomes our job to help everyone else to get out of their oppression. So on this weekend, when we celebrate the man who indeed epitomized the idea for us of bringing people out of the darkness and into the light, let us try to capture some of the spirit that he brought to us and bring it into our voice as we sing the words of Mi Chamocha, page 44.
Malchutecha ra'u vanecha bokei hayam lifnei
We continue then on page 45 as we give thanks for God for watching over our souls on this beautiful evening and carrying us gently through the light of the darkness. Hashkivenu can be found on page 45, and Chazan Mimi has a wonderful melody for us to sing along to by Dan Nichols. So feel free to join in. The lyrics, as you can see, are on the screen.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu L'Chayim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us with wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu L'Chayim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu L'Chayim. One more time to life. L'Chayim.
And so then we officially welcome in the spirit of Shabbat with Vishamru, which can be found on page 46. God commanded us to always hallow the seventh day, even in the toughest of times, and to bring it into our lives and make it holy, make it sacred, and make it special. And so tonight we do as always with the melodies that Chazan Mimi brings us.
So this is one you haven't heard, or maybe you have. I don't do it very often, but it is one of Debbie Friedman's Vishamrus, and I hope you like it because you'll probably hear it again. But just because it's Shabbat Shira and it's the Sabbath of song, just mixing it up just a little bit. Shameru v'nei Yisrael. I'm gonna try that again. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat. La'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam. Berit olam beini uvein v'nei Yisrael od hi le'olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz uvayom hashvi'i shavat shavat vayinafash shavat shavat vayinafash. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat. Masodet HaShabbat Lidorotam Berit Olam Beini Uvein Bnei Yisrael Odhi Leolam Oti Leolam.
So when I was a kid, there used to be a game that we would play at some point in class in religious school. And the game always took on the same form. The question would be, if you were a tree, what kind of a tree would you be? Some kids would talk about being an oak tree because the bark was tough, the tree was mighty, and it spread wide to the sky. Other kids would talk about being a maple tree because it provided sweetness and joy at breakfast to everyone. Some kids liked being a rose bush because they loved the sweet smell, but they knew that they could have prickly thorns. To me, I've always been intrigued by this notion that people can be equated with trees. The Torah is entirely familiar with that idea because it has the very famous line that in Deuteronomy, it says that we are all, each human being, like trees in some way, or that a person is like a tree of the field, as it's often translated. So the question I have wondered as of late is not so much what each of us is like as a tree, but could any of us be compared to could any tree be compared to the Jewish people as a whole? There is an old line that we read often on Friday nights. As a matter of fact, you've probably heard Chazan Mimi sing it many times before, where it says on the psalm that we say for Shabbat, Psalm 92, Tzadik katamar yifrach, ke'erez balvanon yisgeh, which is an old notion about the difference between the cedar tree and the palm tree. Tzadik katamar yifrach, a righteous person will give fruit like a date palm. Ke'erez balvanon yisgeh, and he will grow tall like a cedar tree in Lebanon. The Midrash actually picks up on that angle and says that those two trees combined can be of the greatest of human beings, because a cedar tree grows tall and mighty and strong, but gives no fruit. A date palm, on the other hand, does not grow particularly tall, but gives fruit to all who can reach. And when you combine the two, the great strength and height of the cedar and the fruit and sweetness of the date palm, you can truly have an outstanding human being, one who grows in stature but yet gives fruit and sweetness to all who come across it. But this week, I found a fabulous commentary by Andres Spokojny, who, if you don't know him, is a rather important man in the Jewish community. He is the CEO and president of the Jewish Funders Network, a group of people who are dedicated to giving philanthropy to the Jewish community. And he wrote in what I think is a beautiful Dvar Torah that the Jewish people perhaps could be best compared specifically to an aspen tree. Yes, an aspen, the same tree after which the town in Colorado is named. I had never realized some of the important parts about an aspen until he illuminated it. Spokojny says, for example, that beneath its deceptive simplicity, the tree is actually a wonder of evolution. The trees are actually connected by their roots to other aspen trees in the forest, which means that if you see a bunch of aspen trees, you're not actually looking at a collection of individual trees, but rather one single organism with many different shoots. Individual trunks in an aspen forest can wither, but they're often replaced by new ones because the entire organism keeps living even if one of the trunks dies off. What makes this particularly poignant is that what makes this particularly poignant is the central fact of the aspen trees is how they are both connected and how they are interconnected. The nutrition and the water is shared equally among all of the different trees. So the stronger in that case help the weaker. That allows the entire aspen population to be as strong as the strongest one rather than falling prey to the usual trap of being only as strong as the weakest link. I think it becomes fairly obvious when you look at it, as Spicorny tells us, that on Tu B'Shvat, this metaphor becomes all that much more important. After all, as he points out, Jewish people are also all connected to each other at our roots. And in many ways, just like the aspen tree, that's our secret strength. We are all connected to each other, at least metaphorically, in this entire network where we share resources, foster new traditions, grow new plants. We also know that when one of the areas in our population is weak, it's up to each of us to take care of that one, to raise it up and keep it as strong as all the others. And as he points out, what I love a phrase of his, he says, in Judaism's secret sauce, the aspens are adaptable. Just like Judaism balances finally between tradition and modernity, between flexibility and attachment, the aspen tree also tries to do the same. Together, the whole idea of us being like an aspen tree is incredibly powerful. If we could come to see each other in such a way that we were all interconnected, if we could come to see each other as saying that we all share common roots and that we will only flower as strongly as each of us can bring each other to do, it would be an entirely different world. Gone would be the noxious fumes of partisanism. Gone would be the poisonous mulch that would be dissension and disagreement. We would understand that for each individual flower of different colors to thrive, we all need each other. So I hope to everyone on this Tu B'Shvat Shabbat, with Tu B'Shvat, of course, beginning Sunday night and going into Monday, is that we think a little bit more about how each of us can help the Jewish people be even more like the aspen tree. How can we embrace each other and our fellow Jews in such a way that helps each other to blossom? How can we help each other to grow and flower in the most beautiful way possible? If we can answer those questions for ourselves, we will indeed be, as the Torah tells us, Eitz Chaim, a living tree. Eitz Chaim hi lemachazikim ba. So that all who hold fast to us will be stronger, more fervent, and more growth-oriented for all time to come. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We continue on page 46 with the Chatzi Kaddish. continue then with with Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, the introduction to the Amidah, page 47. And when we're done with the introduction, we'll continue with the silent Amidah, which continues from pages 47 through 52. Chazan Mimi will then bring us back together with a song before we move into Rifa'enu. As you stand tonight for your Amidah, I want you to feel the roots of your feet on the ground. I want you to feel yourself flowering towards God. Think about that connection between you, the heavens, and the other Jews around you through your roots.
Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha, Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Adonai Sfatai Tiftach. Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom. Shalom.
this time of COVID-19, and especially during the Omicron surge, we are ever present and constantly thinking of the health of ourselves, the health of others. And we call to mind especially anyone who may need that prayer of healing, who could use that help from us, that boost. Not only do we hope for the prayers of God, but we also think of what we can do to help bring that healing in the world. Maybe it's a call, maybe it's a piece of food, maybe it's an extra meal, whatever we can do to help lift those people's spirits. So if you have someone in your mind, bring them into your heart and soul as Chazan Mimi leads us in the singing of Rifa'enu.
Rifa'enu Adonai B'nei Raphael. God, only you can bring true healing, and so we pray. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei Cholei Amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, Shekhinah, restores our loved ones, heal our people speedily in our day. And let us say, Amen.
We continue with Aleinu and Bayom Hahu, pages 56 and 57.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hako, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. יתונות בשמיים ויוצר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגוד המרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום להשב אותה אל לבבך. Okay, תקווה לך ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
As always, at the end of every service, we remember those who have passed in this season, those who are celebrating or observing a Shiva, the first week of mourning, a Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning, or a yahrzeit, the anniversary of someone who has died at the season's past. In particular, in the Temple Aliyah community, we remember the following individuals whose yahrzeit is observed in this coming week: Kay Alperin, Eddie Aruge, Nasser Banyan, Dov Berko, Marvin Berkson, Selvina Bernstein, Augusta Blaustein, Warren Boydell, Morris Brickman, Martin Chinsky, Bert Cohen, Lenny Cohen, Lenny Cummins, Rima Dozortsev, Barbara Feynman Engel, Ethel X, Sylvia Fields, Cheryl Susan Fields, Leonard Garber, Jack Glazer, William Gordon, Herbert Hoffman, Tova Hubert, Pauline Husky, Ronald Itzler, Sarah Liesel Kahan, Yochav Kramer, Melvin Kaner, Sybil Kaplan, Gwen Kelman, Oscar Cram, William Krieger, Meyer Marcus, Sharon Meltzer, Jerry Millman, Janice Moskowitz, Nanajan Nasi, Gabriel Orland, Beverly Pedowitz, Bessie Penn, Yvonne Pincus, Faye Pinkwater, Jerome Randall, Ben Dusty Raskin, Seymour Rifkin, Jean Rosen, Beatrice Rosenbaum, Herbert Rosengard, Seema Rothstein, Maurice Russo, James Ryan, Violet Hannah Sahigi, Alfred Schwartz, Sidney Chapin, Meyer Sherak, Joseph Shore, Anna Slotnick, Frank Sokol, Irving Steinberg, Jeanette Stone, Martha Stolberger, Molly T. Teplitz, Gary Venner, Earl Walmark, Maxine B. Wolf, Manuel Zalamek, Felicia Zoberman, Charlotte Zweibel, and Mel Greenberg. We also are particularly mindful of the passing of Eric Maurer, the husband of Shirley Maurer, the father of Rhodey Vogel, and the father-in-law of our beloved Rabbi Stuart Vogel. We call to mind all of those individuals who are on that list, but also all those who are in our hearts. If you are reciting Kaddish, please feel free to join us in the Zoom room as together we join on page 58 for Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam ulalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei dekudasha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'miram be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say, as one family with one faith in the one God. Amen. Shabbat Shalom to everyone. It's a real pleasure to be here. Rabbi Vogel certainly sends his greetings from his vacation. Rabbi Galko sends her greetings from hers as well. I am grateful to be here singing along with you and Chazan Mimi in this particular week, in this Shabbat Shirah. A couple of notes of announcement. First of all, welcome to everyone who's joining us on live stream as well as in the Zoom. Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, we hope that you'll join us, God willing, in person, as we will celebrate our regular Shabbat services both in the sanctuary and online. So you can find us either in the Frank Sanctuary or on our two places, Facebook Live and on our YouTube. At 4 o'clock, our Mincha service, please join us as we celebrate the bat mitzvah of Vivian Siegel. Mazal Tov to the Siegel family. We would also love everyone to join us next Friday night at 8 p.m. for Voices of Freedom, our multi-faith service honoring the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We will be joined by esteemed clergy guests, Reverend Najuma Smith Pollard, Reverend Oliver Bowie, and human rights and peace activist Mohammed Akbar Khan, and we will celebrate with musical and dramatic performances in an uplifting service. See our website to RSVP to attend in person or watch us on the live stream. And next Shabbat morning, we'll be in our sanctuary at 10 a.m. As always, the service will also be available online. And as you all know, there are always opportunities to be a part of Aliyah, from our Shabbat services to weekly study with each of our rabbis, to the many social action and outreach activities through the community of caring. If you'd like to join us in making meaning and making a difference, Visit our website for more information at templealiyah.org. Thank you for being part of Aliyah's story, and thank you for making Aliyah a part of yours. Shabbat Shalom. So as we bring our service to a close tonight, Chazan I know had something that was particularly poignant and particularly appropriate as a good closing song for us. Chazan are you ready to share your screen and show us?
I think I just did.
You got it?
Yes. So I would like you all to sing along. This is, you know, a beautiful folk song that there's a new verse for Tisha B'Av, but please sing
Tu
along.
B'Shvat.
Yeah, not Tisha B'Av, God forbid. God forbid, we're not there yet. But Tu B'Shvat, so. Inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down. Pulling weeds and picking stones, man is made of dreams and bones. Feed my need, grow on my own, 'cause the time is close at hand. Rain for grain, sun and rain, find my way in nature's chain. Tune my body and my brain through the music of the land. Plant your rows straight and long, temper them with prayer and song. Mother Earth will make you strong if you give her love and care. Tu B'Shvat is close at hand, time to build up our homeland. Time growing things in the sand, bringing life where there was none. We all celebrate as one, working hard and having fun, with the power from the sun and the help from God above. Inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All you need is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Join
Shabbat
me.
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, y'all.
In the live stream. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Hey.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hey.
Shabbat,
Shabbat,
Shalom. And we're still on live stream.